La sila i-River Park bafethu ku-program nazi impahla niyazibonela ziyaphuma amakhomando phakathi wase-Alexander uphumile namaphoyisa basibhekile ukuthi yonke into ihamba kahle akekho ozohlukumezeka yiko laba sila ngale ndawo abantu base-Alexander sisonke ejardini lomuntu angeni noma ubayo kunamathimi angenayo kunabantu abadila ngey'mpahla kunamaphoyisa akumelanga kulahleka izinto zabantu njengoba nibona ngaphakathi ngizongena nginibonise nangaphakathi osahlezi elokishini bayaphuma e-River Park bayoqhashisa elokishini mani bavumela lapha elokishini extension 9 amaveni aze extension 9 mani bavumela nizoba ne-problem nizoba nenkinga siyazilungisela for i-future generation yabantwana bethu njengoba sishilo sejardini nazi impahla ziyaphuma yonke into siyenza straight.
So guys, can we please talk about this story? So the city of Johannesburg is removing all illegal occupants that are occupying abandoned buildings which are owned by the city of Johannesburg. Let me just rewind the story back a bit. So there was this guy by the name of Mckenzie. Mckenzie was renting buildings that he didn't even own. He would take abandoned buildings that the city of Johannesburg owned and then act like he is the owner of those buildings. He would take illegal immigrants, illegal foreigners, people who doesn't even have an ID or documents. There's no deposit, there's nothing, no payslip. Mckenzie would take a random illegal foreigner who just arrived in South Africa, put them in a flat that is abandoned. No water, no electricity, like there's literally nothing. The place is dirty, it's full of garbage. There's no garbage truck that comes and collect luggages. Mckenzie would take them and put them in such a building, making them pay 120 per month. That's all. You don't have to top up with water or anything. So the city of Johannesburg then went to those people. Then those people, they were like, no, we know Mckenzie. Mckenzie is the one that put us inside these buildings. We only pay 120. We don't even pay for electricity and water. Mckenzie is our landlord. So now the city of Johannesburg will remove all illegal foreigners. And Mckenzie will target drug dealers, people who are recycling, like who collect cans and paper. Like he would target them, put them in a place. And most of these foreigners, they don't care. The health hazard, they don't care. As long as they're in South Africa and they're under a roof, then they're okay. So Mckenzie would target those people. Now the city of Joburg was like, no more. We are taking everyone out. So shout out to the city of Joburg for finally waking up and making sure that South Africa will once again be safe. Thank you.
Tell us about the coalition framework of the Patriotic Alliance. Are you going to be working with the ANC and the EFF?
No, we're not going to work with the ANC or the EFF or the DA or with everybody. We will work with anybody that agrees to bringing God back in schools, mass deportation of illegal foreigners, and agrees that, you know, the death penalty should come back. I mean, we've got ridiculous laws that favors criminals in this country.
But why would you not work with them if in the city of Joburg you're already within a unity, a government that you're working with?
Pardon, what was the question?
In the city of Johannesburg, the PA is working with the ANC and the EFF, and in Ekurhuleni as well.
That's on local government. That's on. I don't work with them in Ekurhuleni, but it's on local front. You see.
So provincially and nationally it will change?
Yeah, but it's a different ballgame. You must understand. We've worked with the DA. We work with all of them. We work with Action SA. I trust them more than any other politician around. So we work with anybody. My issue here is that they mustn't just say you are with the ANC. We are with everyone. We are the only party. You were the first person to interview me when the results came out. And I told you, when they all said, we will not work with this one, we will not work, I said to you, if the AWB was still here, we would have worked with the AWB.
The South African government spent about 52 million rand in 5 months to send illegal immigrants back home, only for some of them really to potentially return soon after being deported. In fact, that's the suggestion and the claim that the EFF, for instance, are making. So there's no question here that 52 million rand is a lot of money. That's over 100 million rand in a year. And our government is not even getting assistance from the embassies of the home countries of the illegal immigrants. So the EFF has come out to suggest once again that instead of spending all this money on deporting illegal immigrants, let's rather formalize them. and use that money to strengthen border management and prevent unauthorized entries of foreign nationals. Because the very same people that you deport, and you're spending so much money on the deportation, the very same people can easily return because our borders are still not effectively secure. This is how the EFF leader Julius Malema explained this when he was on Face the Nation a few weeks ago.
We need to find a way. They are here already. You go and put them in Lindela with our state money, which you are saying it's supposed to buy medicine. We pay buses, we take them back. They come back the following day, not next week.
So what would be your solution as the EFF?
The solution is let's go and document these people.
So don't deport them, rather find a way to formalize them.
We need to document them, because whether you like it or not, my brother, they are here. You know what they do in December? They hand themselves over in Lindela so that they can go and eat Christmas at home. And then in January they come back. That money could have been used on some feeding scheme to feed the children of the poor or in the clinics. The reality of you are in denial. There's xenophobic people are in denial. That's a problem. They are in denial that these people are here. They think they are still coming. Yeah. They are not coming, they are here. How do we deal with that?
Hello everybody, this is Angel Mutimanwa and welcome to The Controversial. Well, as you can watch for yourself, I think this issue, I spoke about it a few months ago, and many people came after me and say, hey, we are rich, we can afford anything. But this amount of money they're talking about is only in the few months when the raid started. I think probably July or August to this month. And already it's 52 million gone, with no guarantee that these people stayed in the countries where they were deported to, or they haven't come back. But if you start tracing back to 2020, 2022, you realize over 225 million to close to 250 million were spent in the very same issue. And that make me wonder whether the idea of document these people, putting a price, they pay for their stay, and then you restrict actually some of the things they cannot do. Because I mean, you have asylum seeker in the country, it's not everything they can do. They cannot apply for everything they want. They can buy houses, they can get married. So you can actually create a visa and you allow these people to pay. And then you look at skills that young South Africans are interested into. You know, you restrict it from people who are coming outside of these illegals to apply for those jobs. You also restrict the health care. You make sure they pay for their medical bills, which is one of the major things, especially for neighbors that bring them here, because they know the health care is free here. And you know, you allow them to pay for their stay. At least you control crime around the issue. But it's very disappointing to see that all plans that are in place right now is just to stop them from getting papers and chase them away. But at what expense? Because really, this money that is spending to these people where there is no guarantee that they've stayed in their country, some of them, they actually came back anyway. And some of them are running a scheme now to say this is a meal ticket for me to actually have a free ticket to go home and come back again. I think for me, document them will be a better solution for now. With all due respect, I think it will be the better solution now. I don't know what you think, you who is watching me right now, but I think it will solve problems better than leaving the way things are.
They are calling on the government to act on foreign nationals. Residents in Etegwini, they are calling on the government to act on foreign nationals that are occupying the space, especially when it comes to the economy, that are operating businesses and those that are hijacking buildings. Today, this march was also attended by the political parties in this province, the IFP and also the Patriotic Alliance. We'll just speak to the Deputy President, Kenny Gunene, who will briefly tell us about them participating in March. Thank you very much for your time. Briefly about the party participating in this call that is made by the residents.
Thank you very much for having us. As you would know, that the Patriotic Alliance was the first to take action when it comes to the issue of illegal immigration, where we went to the borders to go and show to South Africans that our borders are unsecured, our borders are porous, both the Zimbabwe-South Africa border and also the Lesotho-South African border. So we came here to support residents, citizens of of South Africa, who are saying, let us come together outside of party politics and let us have a voice as South Africans to say enough is enough. We want illegal immigrants out of our country. We are calling for the mass deportation of all illegal immigrants. We are calling for our borders to be secured, and that's why we are here, because South Africans want their voices to be heard, because it looks like the government that came in 1994 is not hearing that voice. We are now in the GNU, and they are saying the GNU needs to hear the voice, and we are part of the GNU. And that is why I came with a member of parliament here, Millicent Matupa, who is deployed in the Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs, to also come here and witness what South Africans are asking for, but also to receive this memorandum so that she can go and read it in the Portfolio Committee and make sure that the minister receives it in his hand, for him to understand that what his party leader Helen Zille said is not what South Africans want. South Africans don't want illegal people to be legalized. They want them to be mass deported. And the reason Helen Zille wants that is because businesses that are supporting the DA, farmers that are supporting the DA, are employing illegal immigrants, paying them slave salaries. So she wants to legalize them so that they can be forced to vote. So Helen Zille wants to steal the democratic processes by legalizing illegal immigrants. So we want our patriot here, our MP deployed to Home Affairs, to go and read to the Portfolio Committee made up of different political parties, but to also go have a voice in Parliament and say, South Africans are tired, let us mass deport illegal immigrants before it is too late.
Some are saying that whenever this voice is basically the residents are complaining about the foreign nationals, it's xenophobic. Will you say it's xenophobic or is it patriotism?
It's patriotism. South Africans have come from different political parties. There's no xenophobia here. This word of xenophobia is used by those who want the status quo to remain, who want our children to remain unemployed, who want our daughters to remain being kidnapped and turned into sex slaves. They want the status quo to remain where our children are made drug addicts by these illegal foreigners. They want the status quo to remain on our buildings and houses being hijacked of South Africans. So we cannot allow that status quo to remain. Whoever calls us xenophobic is unpatriotic, and he is a Satan, because anyone that is patriotic is of God. Anyone that says the country must come first is of God. But those who are calling citizens xenophobic, they are of the devil, because the devil wants destruction and God wants to prosper people. We want prosperity for the citizens of South Africa. We want prosperity for our people. And those like Malema who say the borders must be opened are of the devil.
This is how serious it is when South Africans are saying they ain't joking. Trust me, they ain't joking. So tell me, do you still want to come to South Africa and remain undocumented foreigner in the country? So guys, this is not gonna be business as usual, as Olani have resumed work, Victoria Africa have resumed work. So the game has changed, and I wish every foreigners in South Africa remain properly documented. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.